Respect our movement.
I like your movement.
Black Entrepreneurs Group.
What's going on, everybody? Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more content. Listen, today we're going to start our relationship boot camp. This is going to be 10 weeks of raw and uncut flavor for y'all in this relationship. Y'all marriages, y'all friendships, and y'all bonds. I'm going to go ahead and start with what we're doing today. Today in week 1, we are going to be talking about what are you looking for? It's simple. What are you looking for? A lot of times we spend our time hanging around with people and being around people that mean us no good. You cannot, and I repeat, you cannot expect anyone to know what it is that you want. You cannot expect anybody to know what it is that you want. What do you want out of your friendships, your marriages, your relationships, and your bonds? What do you want? What are you looking for? What are you looking for? Are you looking for a husband? Are you looking for a wife? Are you looking for a boyfriend? Are you looking for a girlfriend? Are you looking for a bond? Or are you just looking for a friendship? Like, what are you looking for? What is your target? What is your end game? Man, listen, oftentimes the reality of it is we stay with people just because we stay with them. We have no other connection and no other ties besides what we feel is love. That's a problem. It's a serious problem. You need to understand that your end game may not be his end game, and his end game may not be your end game. The question is, are y'all on the same page with what it is that you are looking for? Have y'all sat down long enough to create a vision board with things that both of you want to accomplish in the relationship, in the friendship, in the bond, or in the marriage? You know, some people think that just because they're in a marriage, that their marriage is going to last simply off of love. And that's not the case. I'm here to tell you, I've never been married, I've never been engaged, but I'm here to tell you, man, you got to know what you're looking for. You got to know what's going on around you, and you have to understand that everybody is not in tune with what you're in tune with. What are you looking for? What are you honestly looking for? You spend a whole lot of time when you go out to, say for instance, Walmart. You go out to Walmart, you spend a whole lot of time walking up and down those aisles. You got a list, a whole list that you wrote down before you go into the store, and yet you still go in the store and you walk up and down, up and down, up and down. You know what I'm saying? You walk up and down these aisles and, you don't even know what you're looking for. It's the same way with your friendships, your relationships, your marriages, and your bonds. You spend so much time writing, writing things down that you want in a specific person, and yet you go and you just date a random person that ain't got nothing to do with what your vision of a boyfriend and girlfriend, a friend, a bond, or a marriage should look like. You'll go out your way to please other people and don't be happy yourself. I never could understand it. I never could understand what possessed a person to do these type of things on a day in and day out. Knowing what you want is so important. It's very imperative that you sit down long enough with a person to see what their end game is, because what happens when you think you know a person, and 6 and 7 months down the line, you don't even know who you dating. You don't even know who you married. This is a whole new person. And I'm, for one, will tell you that it has happened to me multiple times. I've started investing my time in a person, and 4 or 5 months down the line, you like, darn, this ain't even the same person I was investing my time with. This ain't even, like, her mind ain't even there. His mind ain't even there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not even on the same page with what I want. And it's so imperative. And the thing is, we all say we want to be married. We all say we want these things, but realistically, what are you doing to achieve those goals? What are you doing? I had a conversation maybe a day or two ago, and I was saying, for me, I spend a lot of time doing counseling sessions and therapy for myself, not with nobody as far as me doing it to them, but having it done to me as far as the therapy and counseling sessions. And I spent so much time saying, I'm preparing myself to be a husband. I'm preparing myself to be a husband, to where after all my therapy sessions was done and all of my counseling sessions was over with, I was forced to go back out into the real world to see what I was made of, and I started to really see, okay, I'm prepared, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing all these things. And then a few months in, I stopped. I literally stopped. I stopped praying to God for a wife. I stopped praying, period. I stopped doing these things. I stopped focusing so much on a wife. And it hit me like a ton of bricks the other night when I was, speaking life into a situation or helping somebody out. And it hit me like a ton of bricks, man. I've literally stopped believing in the thing that I believed so much in, that I was going to be prepared. I was going to be, married. I was going to do all these things. And what happened was I stopped praying for it. I stopped asking God for guidance on those particular areas in my life. And I shouldn't have done that. See, now I'm walking out, not only out of the will of God, but out of the will of what it was that I was so ready for at the time. So again, man, knowing your end game. And I had to realize that, I'm not even doing what am I doing to be a husband at this point? And I literally had to answer the question of nothing at all. I wasn't doing anything to prepare myself to be a husband because I lost focus. So it happens, man. We all lose focus, man. You gotta really be careful with that though, because when you lose focus and you don't realize that your focus is lost and you keep going, man, ain't no telling what's gonna happen. This is why it's important that you know what it is you want. Yes, I had an end game, I had a plan, but I lost focus of that plan and I had to get back focused. So I say all of that to say this, man. Stop wasting your time with people that are irrelevant. Stop wasting your time with people that are irrelevant. Stop wasting your time with people that are irrelevant. I said it 3 times for a reason, because there's somebody out there right now that is still trying to make a situation out of no situation at all. This person don't want what you want. This person is holding on to you because of what you can do for them. And it's just that simple. Stop wasting your time with that boyfriend that's not going nowhere. Stop wasting that time with that girlfriend that's not going nowhere. And I'll be the first to tell you, I would never, and I say this so much when I'm counseling people, when I'm doing one-on-one sessions or whatever the case may be, whether it's a group setting or not, I never, I'm gonna repeat it, I never tell people to leave their significant others. I never tell people to walk away from a relationship, a friendship, a marriage, or a bond unless it's something that has to do with abuse. And the reason being is because you never know why the Lord placed this person in your life. And it may not be this person was placed in your life for you. It could be so you can help, encourage, and teach and motivate them. And it could be the other way around. They may have been placed in your life to show you a weak area in your life. So I would never tell people to do that. But understand this. Make sure that you are doing everything in your power to ask God to show you who's there for you and who's only there for your convenience. Because it is a very sketchy and scary type of situation where you spend so much time with a person and you don't even know who this person is. They're transforming right in front of you. Everybody goes through a change and a transformation. And it's supposed to be in a positive light. But not everybody has a positive transformation. Some people get lost in themselves trying to heal themselves. And I know you guys heard me say that so much. Don't get lost in yourself trying to heal yourself. Man, yourself is a powerful tool, man. You should love thyself more than anything except for Christ himself. But you should also know that it's a season and a time to be single for a reason. So you can learn things about yourself that you did not know about yourself. But when that time is over, the Lord is going to tell you, he is going to instruct you when it's time to move on and let go of all of your hurt and baggage. And a lot of us don't hear it. A lot of us will stay in this broken place. You choose to be broken. Getting hurt is something that's going to happen to all of us. Staying hurt is a choice. Learn how to not stay hurt. When it's time to let go, if someone comes into your life and they're encouraging you to let go and open up to them, you should do that. Because what happens is when you don't do that, you're stuck in a place. You may very well lose the person that God has ordained for you to be in your life, to be your wife or your husband, because you don't know how to hear from God. And a lot of times, speaking to the women out there, you guys have to stop being so tough. I understand y'all go through things. I understand that in relationships that don't work, it hurts. You need time to heal. You have a wall up. But what you have to understand is you wasn't built to be tough. Being tough isn't a woman's trait. You cannot be a man. You cannot be a man. It's okay to be soft. It's okay to be feminine. It's okay to be these things, but you need to understand that you cannot be a man. Being a man is hard. And I know, a lot of females say, hey, well, listen, at the end of the day, being a woman is hard. We have, Mother Nature. We go through this. We go through that. We go through pregnancy. I don't do none of that. But what you got to understand is it's hard on a whole nother level for a man. It's mentally hard because we are supposed to be the head, which means we have to make sure our home is in order before we even entertain you. That's so important for fellas out there. Fellas, make sure that you are being everything that God calls you to be, because you cannot be a lead. You can't be a leader if you don't know how to listen. You cannot be a leader if you don't know how to listen. Furthermore, you can't be a leader if you lost yourself. Take time to really figure out what God called you to do and what God called you to be, so therefore you don't hurt nobody else. Two broken people can't be a healed situation. You can't heal a situation with two broken people. Now, granted, if one person is broken, the person that's not broken can uplift all day long. But until that person is ready to come out of that bondage of being broken and being healed, it's not going to work. It's unevenly yoked. Stop wasting your time with people that aren't on the same level as you. If you got to distance yourself from your family, your friends, to figure out what it is that you want, you got to do everything in your power to make that happen. Because at the end of the day, they have a life they're living. You can't live their life and they can't live yours. Stop wasting your time with people that are not on the same level as you. If you need counseling, if you need therapy, if you need help, get it. Stop giving me excuses of why you can't do certain things. And I'm not saying me, but I'm just saying in general. Stop giving your significant other excuses of why you can't do this or you can't do that, because it's going to hurt in the long run. The worst thing you can do is put a person in a mindset that you don't care about them. Because when they move on, because they're going to move on, when they move on from you and you see them with somebody else, you cannot react because you didn't do what you were supposed to do in your season of healing. It's okay. A lot of us think that you have to heal by yourself. And no, that's not the case. The Lord never said you had to heal by yourself. The Lord said it's a season for being single. It's a season to step away from your marriage. But know that when you two reconcile, then it's supposed to be promoting positivity to get back on a level. It's okay to go without, sex and all these things when it's agreed upon on two people when you're married. But let that not be mistaken with withholding sex from your partner when you are married. That's a whole different ballgame. That's a sin. And you got to understand, like, from a relationship standpoint, boyfriend and girlfriend rather, being in a position to where you guys know where y'all going. Get you a binder. It's like a marriage binder. It's really, really thick. They sell them at Michael's. They sell them at Hobby Lobby. They may have them at Walmart. I don't think I ever seen one at Walmart, but I'm pretty sure they probably do have them. But get you a marriage binder. Start planning for your future, man. With all this stuff going on, I hope you guys are staying safe, but with all this stuff going on, man, do you really want to spend your time by yourself? You see what the world is going to. Do you really want to do that? For those that have kids, man, spend your time with your kids, love on your kids, but understand when you're talking about marriage, this goes out to the women, because I hear it more often than not. When it comes down to marriages, especially, people feel like their kids are supposed to come before your wife or your husband. And when you're married, that's not the case. That is not the case. The Lord said the Lord shall be first. Lord Jesus Christ is first, and the man follows behind, then the wife, then the kids, then your job. You see what I'm saying? So it's definitely a pyramid, and you have to understand that. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it, I understand, in a relationship wise, tending to your kids before you tend to your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or your significant other is perfectly fine. But when you are married, you have an obligation and an oath, that you took with the Lord. And you're supposed to upkeep that oath and honor your vows as much as you possibly can with all your heart, mind, and soul. So I don't understand why when people come to me, they say, "Oh well, I put my kids before anything. My kids gonna eat before my husband eat. My kids gonna do this. My kids gonna do that." You're wrong. That's not how it's supposed to be. Same thing with fellas. Listen, if you got kids and you marry somebody else, your kids don't come first, bro. You need to understand that. Your wife comes first. You took an oath that you was gonna not only protect, provide, but also be her pastor in her time of prayer, and also be her pleaser, which means if she's hurting in some area and she's telling you something is bothering her, just don't do it. Don't spend your time doing something that you know is gonna hurt your wife. And that actually trickles down to your relationship. If your boyfriend is telling you, listen, I don't like the way you doing this, I don't like this, I don't like that, you should correct it, because he's being honest and vocal enough with you that you should be willing to compromise. And that's a lot of us. We don't like to compromise. We think it's our way or no way. That's wrong. Stop doing it. If it's something on Facebook that your girlfriend or your boyfriend don't like, take it down. Take it down. Stop letting social media run y'all life. Half of the time, that's what's really wrong with some of y'all relationships, friendships, marriages, and bonds. Y'all are friends on Facebook, and your significant other is posting something crazy. Listen, I'm here to tell you, man, I'm a motivational speaker, I'm a mentor, I'm a youth advocate, I'm an author. If I'm with you, you can't be posting nothing crazy, because people look at you as they look at me. You are a direct reflection of me. You represent me at all times. So I don't expect nothing less than the great, being great. You being you shining in some area that I'm not shining in. If that means helping you create a business or helping you run your business, I'm all for it. But what I'm not going to do is have people looking at me crazy because you posting something crazy on Facebook. Not happening. Not in my life. I'm not doing it. Never have, never will. But again, man, a lot of y'all get so angry and so mad at certain things that you cannot control. You cannot control your significant other. You are not supposed to control your significant other. At the end of the day, you need to know where you're going and what you're doing. What do you really want? What do you want? What are you looking for? What is your end game? These are the things that you need to be asking yourself. What is your end game? Where do you want this to go? Where do you see yourself in 6 months? Where do you see yourself in a year? Where do you see yourself in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? This is the conversations you need to be having with your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your significant others, your wife, your husband. These are the conversations you need to have when you're creating friendships, marriages, bonds, relationships, period. Y'all have to sit down and really figure out your end game. Take life serious, man. You only got one shot at it. Stop allowing people that mean you no harm to come into your life and utterly destroy it. Do not, and I repeat, do not take anybody out of their comfort zone to hurt them. If you're not going to be there for them, leave them the heck alone. Leave them the heck alone. I don't care how good the sex is. I don't care how much money they make. At the end of the day, if you're not coming in there to help them, to heal them, you are destroying them. You are crushing them. You are spending your time hurting each other because you don't know what it is that you want and they don't know what they want. Two broke people can never have a fixed situation. Understand that. Be mindful that you are something. You are somebody. And if you guys practice, proper steps, and everything is fine, man. Proper pre-planning prevents a piss poor performance every single time. Every single time. Proper pre-planning prevents a piss poor performance every single time. Properly prepare so you don't face a piss poor performance in your relationships, marriages, friendships, and bonds. Take the time to really understand where you're going, where your significant other is going, and really be on one accord. Because if you're unevenly yoked, it'll never work.